Hello and welcome to When Movies Met Movies, the podcast where we look at a past year in film to further understand the present. I'm Matthew.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Dean.
Today, we are discussing a 2012 horror classic, Cabin in the Woods, written and directed by Goddard, with the help of Joss Whedon. But before we get into that, how have you guys been over the past couple weeks?
I guess I'll go first. It has been a while. If you were listening to our past
Yes.
episode, you might be confused because we were going to do Project Hail Mary and 21 Jump Street. But I'll be honest, it was an unmitigated disaster. So, y'all do not want to hear it. Trust me, Matthew does not want to edit it, rightfully so. And we're going to just forget about it, but I will give a
Yes.
mini review here just because you might be wondering and y'all can chime in after. I
Mhm.
like the film Project Hail Mary in terms of its visuals, its really passionate directing. Acting was great, it looked great. I was a bit disappointed. It kind of started out amazing to me, and then it kind of turned into a movie that, while not necessarily was terrible, was overlong and just not what I was really looking for. So I would give it a 6.5 or 7 out of 10, which isn't bad. But so many people love the movie, it's still playing in theaters even months later. So round of applause to the filmmakers who poured all their energy into it. And yeah, do y'all have any thoughts you want to add?
If nothing else, it was a very entertaining popcorn flick, and we love to see things doing well at the box office. But I think I kind of have the same mixedness towards it that I had toward Ready Player One at the time. Which maybe is a little uncharitable to Project Hail Mary, but that pretty much sums up my feelings.
Ready Player One, really?
That's a bit low. I
I
even for me, I need to rewatch the Ready Player One, or maybe I shouldn't. That doesn't seem right to me, at least for me.
Yeah.
It's the same vibes for me, at least. Same
No, no, no,
vibes.
no. That is. My thoughts are it did everything that it needed to, and it was visually stunning in IMAX 1.43. So I had a great
Nice.
time. And like it was a bit long toward the end, but it's still such a visual treat that you gotta see this in IMAX. 8 out of 10.
I did see it in IMAX 1.43 also, and I mean, just on a visual standpoint, they worked their butts off. Applause to them.
Yeah.
I finished a show that
Ooh.
started off terrible, and someone dared me. They were like, "I will watch the first episode of Euphoria season 3 if you finish Paradise season 2." And I gotta say, it started off bad. Shailene Woodley is fucking cursed, and if you've seen it, you know, okay? She's cursed. Someone exercise her career.
Oof.
Please. She deserves so much better, but man, it got better after that, after the first 4, and then the last 2 episodes were peak incredible stuff. So, I will be tuning into season 3, and I would never have thought that of Paradise.
Wow.
And if you skip some of it in the middle and you get to those last 3 episodes or so, it's worth your time. And then I watched Beef season 2. And
Wah,
at
wah,
first, I was
wah.
excited. The first season of Beef, oh my god, check it out. It's not perfect, but when you get towards the end, it all, for me, came together. Such a magical first season for the most part. And
Mhm.
Beef season 2, you see the cast: Oscar Isaac, Carey Mulligan. I mean, this thing is stacked, and I was getting pumped, but then it got closer and closer, and I'm like, why is there like no advertising? And then I found out the day before it was going to come out that it was dropping tomorrow or the next day.
Classic Netflix.
I didn't even know. Classic Netflix, but they did that for a reason. because I'll give it
Oh my
this, the
god.
casting, the actors are incredible, and they do a great job, which makes it all the more frustrating that these people are giving it their all, and this show wasted my goddamn time writing this
Yep.
script. They
Mhm.
try to connect it back to Korea because of the first season, which I
Mhm.
understand because it's such an integral part of the first season. And I was like,
Mhm.
how are they going to do this? They're switching to mainly an all white cast, and there's this Korean subplot. And I'm like, okay, throughout the first few episodes, I was like, what do they have to say now? And by the end, it made absolutely no sense. And I feel like it was just in there because the first season related to Koreans.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way? Because you saw it too.
I feel the exact same way, and it's such a shame because the Korean cast is so stacked. It's, Song
The
Kang-ho,
lady from Minari.
yeah, Yoo Young-jung. It's so heartbreaking because they're getting their paychecks, but their performances are not bad in the slightest, it's just the script, which
Yeah.
is god awful.
And then all I will say is this isn't a spoiler because this is a theme, right? This is not what actually happens, but at least how I interpreted it, at the very end, it just said, "People don't change. Capitalism
Mhm,
ruins everything," which it ruins a lot, but this show doesn't explain at all how. It just throws the word out
yeah.
like it's an excuse.
It's honestly one of the most cynical endings I've seen, which is really saying something. It, like, presents it as all happy and nice at the end.
I don't think it did. I'll disagree with you on that, but it made me
That's true,
frustrated.
yeah. Yeah, and also some of the most unnecessary celebrity cameos.
Hey, we needed Michael Phelps in Beef. It would not have
What?
been the
Yep,
same,
mhm,
Michael
okay,
Phelps?
without
yep.
him making Oscar Isaac waste hundreds of thousands of dollars. It would not be the same. Which, listen, I will say props to Michael Phelps. He was fine in the scene, and honestly, he made himself look like a shithead, which made me not think of him as a shithead. Because I'm like, you know what? You stuck to your guns. You showed up, and you didn't care if they made you look like an a hole. So, props to Michael Phelps.
Yeah, but I cannot recommend this show, sadly.
The last thing I will say is I'll make an official statement with this, with Beef Season 2, which I should have started with this. The dumbest characters in all of history
Yep.
for me. In all of fucking cinematic history.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get angry, so let's move on.
Yes.
We got a movie I thought would never, ever come out. Faces of Death by Daniel Goldauber, Barbie
Woo.
Ferreira, Dacre Montgomery. Okay? Some script issues, again, some dumb character decisions, but unlike Beef, it delivered for me. Must see, recommend. I'm not gonna spoil the movie because you need to see the many faces of death. It is worth your time. 8 out of 10 for me. Michael, I saw the Michael Jackson biopic. All I will say is, besides the great performances, they are really releasing half movies now into theaters. So it gets a 5 out of 10 for me.
And conveniently not the part where he, did some weird things.
Although the weird thing is, it's not like it's just a musical focus. They keep hinting at Neverland and all the allegations like they were about to talk about it, and then they don't talk about it because it wasn't in the
His
movie.
story continues.
And my only thing is, why is there not more music in this music biopic? Y'all can hate on A Complete Unknown however much you want, but you cannot deny that movie had music. And I'm like, how do you show one of the greatest performers of all time? Okay, he might be a terrible person, depending on what you know of or what you think of the allegations, but just as a performer, one of the greatest of all time, and you have like 6 songs or less?
Yeah. If you're gonna make a sanitized biopic, then might as well go hard on the music.
Mm hmm. But, many people love it, so if you love Michael Jackson and you don't care about the allegations, there are some great musical moments. When there was music, it was fantastic. But I have 3 more left, and I'll make this quick, but these are really big. I saw my second most favorite movie of the year so far, and I'm shocked. David Lowery's Mother Mary flip it around, WW Wicked Witch Bitch. If Lady Gaga was a movie, I just witnessed herstory,
Wow.
lesbian love,
Inshallah.
depression, okay? It is not a ghost story. Make of that as you will. It didn't make sense before the movie. I was like, why is this the tagline? This is not a ghost story. Perfect tagline for the movie. And a
Huh.
cameo, but a great one by the Hunter Schafer, my Jules from Euphoria,
Woo.
which is back, baby. 8.5 out of 10 for Mother Mary. And I saw the first 2 episodes, baby. It is time of Euphoria season 3. Okay. And I'll be honest, it was really good in quality. It was not what I hoped for in terms of the past 2 seasons. And this season starts on a semi whimper, White Lotus style. So the first 2 episodes didn't fully deliver so many great moments, but it didn't solidify. But tonight, after I record this, I'm going to be watching episode 3, The Wedding. I have hopes.
Wow.
So we shall see.
We shall see.
We shall see. But they have time. They have 6 more episodes to go.
Oh, hopefully it's good for your sake, but
Hey, listen, I will say it makes the drama look underwhelming with Zendaya. You know, you watch something like this film we're about to talk about briefly, the drama, and Zendaya is good in it, maybe even great. But you watch Euphoria, and I don't see Zendaya anymore. I only see her character Rue, which is just a testament to honestly one of the best performances of all time. So
Wow.
check it out.
Wow.
Euphoria.
Before it leaves the world forever, for better or worse.
Well, it'll leave with a bang and it'll be forever engraved instead of in
Yes.
theaters, but on HBO. Yeah.
Ooh.
Speaking of Zendaya wedding projects,
Yes. We must address the elephant in the room. So, both Jack and I watched the drama, which came out a couple weeks ago, but comes out for Matthew in August horribly. Or maybe not. I went into this having it on my most anticipated list. As y'all know, I think it was number 2, which, in hindsight, one of my more questionable decisions, especially given the producing team, which includes Ari Aster, as I had forgotten about until the opening credits of this movie rolled, and I saw his name in the credits, and my heart dropped. Which, yeah, I guess I'm kind of dancing around it, but I did not like this movie at all. On Letterboxd, I have it as a 3 out of 10, just because it reeks of Ari Asterness, where it just kind of takes a really topical thing that is in the news very frequently, especially nowadays, and does nothing interesting with it and kind of uses it in a very tone deaf way. At least that's how I felt about it. I know other people feel differently. So, yeah, I think I was just expecting something very delightful and dramatic and campy, and what I got was not that. So, I think above all else, once the twist hits, you either like this movie or you don't. And I did not like it.
oh no.
I apologize.
don't stand up for yourself, okay? You're speaking your truth.
I apologize to my past self for all of his dreams and hopes.
I liked it way more than you, Dean. I do have a lot of problems with it. The cast, Zendaya is really good. Surprisingly little screen time, in my opinion, for what she should have had, but she's
Mhm.
good when she's there. Robert Pattinson, things with his character, but as a performance, you know, he's a chameleon every time. And I'm like, again, I'm like, he feels like a different person. Alana Im was the standout for me as a person who I hated so much it made me wanna punch her in the face, and coming from Alana I mean, she's the real deal. So, I am so
Yeah,
excited to see more from her.
she was
And
great.
yeah, I'm not gonna spoil the twist at all, although I will say the twist is not a twist. It is within the first 10 minutes or so of the movie. And if you've watched the
Mhm,
trailers, you know they're all going around saying the worst thing they've ever done. And the twist is what Zendaya admits to what she's done. And
mhm.
like Dean, you said you're either gonna be on board with it or you're not, and I kind of was for a little bit. Without saying what it is, it really goes into, can people change? Are people bound to be punished for something they did in the past, or can they overcome it
Mhm.
in the eyes of others and maybe even to themselves? But, you know, the ending was a bit underwhelming for me. It had some
Yeah.
moments, but the more I think about it, the less I like it. So, I'm still
Yeah.
gonna give it
Same.
a mild thumbs up, mainly just the talent, at a 7 out of 10, and I also wanna just point out that the director, it's not even allegations because he said it.
Yes, it is his essay.
He should never work again.
What happened?
He is trying to say with this movie that people can move on, which I kind of agree with in the context of this movie, but then he said the thing he moved on from, and I don't know if that can be moved on from, and that is
Yeah.
that he had sex with an underage girl when he was around his late 20s or 30s.
Oh.
And he
Correct.
just says, "Well, I got over and I realized it was wrong, but like I'm not even gonna apologize, you know, it happens, you know, it's my love." Like, it's
Ah!
pretty
Okay.
shocking. So, I mean, maybe I'm not explaining it right.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head, basically. But, basically, at least the way it felt for me is that the drama basically becomes another lame movie about cancel culture, especially after a very questionable decision made by Robert Pattinson's character. And so that was another thing that rubbed me the wrong way a lot, was that I felt like I had seen this so many different times before. There was just saying the same thing about quote unquote cancel culture over and over again. And I just didn't want to deal with that. So yeah.
Yeah,
But Zendaya was great, even though her character is maybe a little underwritten. So much potential.
yeah. And just to clarify, I don't rate this film based on how much of a piece of shit the director is, okay? He can go to hell, and also, I'm gonna judge the film on its own merits, but it really did just disappoint me. And I think Zendaya, you know, we've seen with Challengers, Euphoria, she deserves a lot better than this.
Hmm.
I can applaud her on a first glance, like, if you read the script of why she would choose this role, but I also think she should
Yeah.
have fought for herself a little higher,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's my sad disappointment with the drama.
But I still hope you watch it, Matthew. It deserves a watch, I think. Especially if you don't know the quote unquote twist, which is very shocking to me that you've been able to
Okay.
Well, it might not be shocking after we're hyping it up, but, you know,
but like the fact that he's been able to avoid it,
it's a
Well,
miracle.
anyways, moving on from the drama, what else have you, seen or
I
done?
guess. Oh my god, where did it start? I watched the movie Cure, which I don't remember if that was before our last recording session, but it is an extraordinary Japanese horror film, which everyone should watch. Very visually stunning, I must say, and also very twisty. Ooh. I watched David Byrne's True Stories, which, as a David Byrne fan, it warmed my heart. It's very, very David Byrne, whatever that means.
I heard John Goodman's good in that.
Oh, yes. He's a delight. It's a very classic, like, oafish John Goodman character. The whole theater was laughing. I watched this shitty little Netflix movie called Fall, which is a great movie to watch while you are on substances, just
Okay.
because
Is that the one where they're on, like, the cell phone tower?
yes. That's exactly it. It
Oh
somehow
my god.
has it's
Wait,
100 minutes
that is a
long.
sequel, right?
Mhm, this
Oh,
year.
Oh my god.
really?
Yeah.
Just, every possible thing you think could happen on a cell phone tower happens. It really milks its premise for all it's worth.
Dean and I both saw this past weekend, 1 week ago, The Cave of Forgotten Dreams.
Exactly. It is glorious, I must say, in IMAX 3D. I know Matthew is a skeptic of this glorious technology.
No, IMAX 3D is good.
Okay,
I
okay.
mean and if it was made for that format, then yeah, like, hell yeah.
Yes. I loved it. I think it was my first 3D movie since Wakanda Forever, as Jack pointed out. And it is much better than that film. It is glorious.
It is a pretty amazing experience. I was an anthropology minor in college, and I just being able to see these caves, I think the first in the world of, like, the oldest cave paintings that we found, in the Chauvet caves of southern France, and
Mhm.
it's just really amazing. It's a little bit repetitive, but when you're seeing it in IMAX 3D, you really feel like you're almost there to see these images. And if you just are a fan of our world's history, you owe it to yourself, if it ever comes out again, to experience it.
Mhm.
Directed by the amazing Werner Herzog.
Yes, his glorious
Mhm.
voice intoned through the half-empty IMAX auditorium like the voice of God. So, as a fan of Werner Herzog, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. But that concludes my wrap-up section.
Well, I guess I'll go into what I've been doing. I haven't seen many movies, but I've been watching the show called Mall Shadow Lord, and
Ooh.
Lucasfilm Animation has outdone themselves again because this is like the most visually stylish thing that they've done. And ever since Clone Wars season 7, like the animation quality just keeps on going up and up. And this is like the culmination of that. It's raw, it like showcases like Maul's rage in a way that like is perfect for the animation medium. And unlike the Bad Batch, which was, it was alright. It had good moments, but, it is mostly for kids. This one's, like, tight in terms of storytelling. It knows when to cut between Wagner Moura's character and Darth Maul, as well as this new Jedi character, and the way that they just focus on one planet, unlike in other Star Wars projects where they jump to multiple planets, it just like makes the world feel more lived in. It's not quite Andor, but the way that they depict the Empire is also like the way they direct the horrific nature of the Empire and how it affects everyday people is also present in the show. And yeah, probably the best animated show on right now,
Wow.
especially considering another show that has the backing of $1 trillion company looks like 10 times worse than this. Invincible.
Oof.
But yeah, like, if you haven't seen much Star Wars, like, this is a pretty good show to, like, watch, I'd say.
Hmm,
I'd give it, like, an 8 out of 10 so far. But
hmm,
besides that, unfortunately, no F1 stuff going on. But I have been prepping for the Resident Evil movie coming out later this year by playing
Mm.
Ooh.
through Resident Evil. I played the first one, which is a fantastic game. It's pretty short. It's like 9 hours if you're, like a normal gamer. Probably take, like, twice as long if you don't game that much, but, yeah, great puzzle solving, weirdly relaxing for a horror game,
Hmm,
but, yeah, I
Really?
love yeah, like, it since it's, like, like, tank controls, like, it's really comforting because like, you're kinda separated from the characters, but, like, the mood is, like, there, like, the way the
huh,
lighting is done in the game is, like, impeccable, and I'd say it's, like, a game that you should at least play through once, the first Resident Evil,
hmm,
preferably as Jill because, yeah, Chris is hard mode, but regardless, I also played through Resident Evil 0. That was a chore. It was fun at first, but you have to switch between 2 different characters, and it gets annoying after a while, and Yeah, tries to emulate the first game, but not too well, I'd say. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's what I've been up to. Is let's move on to the main topic of this episode. Cabin in the Woods. Released on April 13th, 2012 in the United States. This movie was directed by Drew Goddard, who also wrote Project Hail Mary, along with a completely normal guy, Joss Whedon, who he also worked together on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. And is distributed by Lionsgate. Not the last big movie that they're doing that we're going to talk about. But this is a pretty long production process. It was actually shot in 2009.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Damn.
Wow.
it was only written in 3 days, or at least the first draft was.
Oh, well, okay, we'll get to that. That makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah,
Shocker.
yeah. Well, I mean, they're TV guys, so they know how to make a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, this wasn't picked up until festivals where it premiered at But Numathon to pretty positive reception.
Why does that sound like a villain of the movie, but Namathon? What?
It's an Austin Film Festival, so
Oh, that's even
Oh.
worse.
You'll have to report back to us from the next Button-a-thon.
it's disestablished in 2017. So
Oh,
Surprised it
heartbreaking.
took that long with that name.
Mm,
Damn.
yeah,
nice.
but yeah, I guess I'll start with my thoughts. I thought it was a pretty fun time. I thought the opening was a unique way to open up a horror-ish movie with the whole bunker sequence. Actually, that's like the twist that you keep hearing on about this movie. So I'm glad like that was a immediate thing that they got out of the way. This is where we meet Richard Jenkins, and I think that Richard Jenkins is like kind of the soul of the movie, and he's the one that like
Mhm,
moves everything forward, and he does like a fantastic job like delivering the Whedon-esque dialogue that's like tempered by Drew Goddard,
mhm,
thankfully. Obviously, like there's a lot of tropey stuff going on, but that's kind of the point of the movie. And obviously, it's not trying to do anything too out there. It's trying to be meta in a way that's trying to like commentate on the tropes of horror. Does it in a pretty entertaining way. Maybe not the best way. We can get into that later. But I just thought that it had a unique premise that it delivered on in a pretty fun way. Maybe not the most intense way, but just like a really fun movie with a lot of pretty fun special effects, I must say, especially toward the end. And I just enjoyed myself. The main four teenagers were pretty fun, even though it was obviously obvious that they weren't teenagers. But
Young adults.
if I just had one word to describe this movie, it's fun.
Hmm.
I'd probably give this a 7 out of 10. Jack, do you want to share your thoughts on the movie?
Well, once again, I have to be the podcast Grinch. I wish I had as much fun as you had. But, I do agree it's hard to hate a movie that doesn't take itself too seriously. Like you were saying, I was surprised by the placement of the twist, which is not even a twist.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, even less so than the drama's twist. So, this was definitely a Gone Girl situation for me. I thought I watched this movie, and maybe I did, but I do not remember it the way I thought I did. I will say I really enjoyed the behind the scenes stuff,
Mhm.
which we'll get into what that means.
Yeah.
But I didn't love the main cast in the other plot line, the people who go to the cabin. I
Hmm.
thought the actors were all fine and they even had some funny lines, but they just became a little bit one-dimensional in a way that
Mhm.
felt like a cop out rather than an homage.
Mm.
Like, I had some issues about there are certain things in this movie where it almost makes it to where the characters are not actually the ones making decisions. if that even makes sense without going into context. But the highlights for me were definitely Bradley Whitford and Richard Jenkins, who I wish were in way more of this movie. Every time they were on
Mhm.
screen together, it was just that was the magic I wanted from this
Mhm.
movie. And
Yeah.
I also really liked this guy named Brian Wright, who almost gave me like an OG version of Tramil Tillman a little bit. He barely said anything, but he just had an aura in like a fun way. And I really liked him. So, I don't know. Unless he's choosing to, I hope he gets another shot because I saw potential. And I gotta say, of the main cast, Matthew, did you recognize one of the guys in the woods? His name was Holden in the movie, although I do not remember that. I had to look it up. I think he was bald in the movie. Did you recognize him or no?
No.
Okay, well, if you love video games, Detroit Become Human, I was
Ah.
like, "Oh shit, there's my man." Check out Detroit Become Human, great experience. So, it was fun to see him, and I think he was pretty good when he was in the movie. Again, I wish he had more to do. I kinda like the guy who kept getting high. I've never heard of this dude before, but his name was Fran Kranz. He was
Fran
good.
Kranz.
No one was bad in the movie. It just I wanted a little more. We get into the 3rd act, there's some fun stuff. Then there's also some, "What are we even doing here?" I'm like, I could tell they wrote this in 3 days, even if I didn't know it. And yeah, so I didn't hate this movie. It probably didn't help that my dad, when I brought up that I was watching this, he was like, "That's one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's one of the best horror movies." So I'm sorry to my dad, but I just don't understand, and I'll just yeah. I don't understand a lot of his movie choices, so we'll just agree to disagree. But I'd give it a 6 or a 6.5. I think a 6. A 6 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Not bad.
Oh, before
Not
we
bad.
get to you, Dean, I just realized where I recognize Fran Kranz from.
Fran Kranz.
Fran Kranz.
Do tell. He did look vaguely familiar.
He is in Roderick Rules as Bill Walter.
Oh my god.
I don't remember Roderick Rules, I'll be
Bill.
honest. It's just a funny meme
Same,
at this point.
same,
I need
same.
to see that new movie with the Roderick guy with Barbie Ferreira. I need to check that out when it comes out. Mile
Oh.
End Kicks. Be on the lookout.
Oh
Shout out Devin Bostick. He's my Roderick.
god.
The one and only. No one will ever recapture that magic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyways, Dean, do you wanna share your thoughts?
Yes. So, unfortunately, I must also apologize to Jack's dad. Even though he did not give me inflated expectations for this movie, I, for some reason, got it into my head that this was like a modern day classic of the horror genre.
I did too, so maybe that's my bad.
Well, it is
Yep.
frequently regarded as that, so
Mhm.
and it's not, like, from nowhere.
Yeah, it's highly acclaimed. It has a really cool poster, I thought, which is maybe kind of where some of my expectations came from. And also, I think part of it is that I have known about this movie for like, I guess, 14 years ever since it came out, but I, for some reason, have just never gotten around to watching it. And here we are. But yeah, it was alright, I guess. Not gonna say much since what I have to say has already been said. Fran Kranz is great as the archetypical stoner, uh, and his voice is perfect for this role. Um, the whole cast, the teenage cast is pretty solid. The guy from Grey's Anatomy is fine, as is Chris Hemsworth, as their respective stereotypical like jock figures. And obviously Richard Jenkins and Bradley Whitford kill it. Two of the best character actors out there. But I just kind of think I was a little disappointed, like Jack, with the teenagers plotline, which was like a little too static. And I thought it would just keep building and getting more like meta and more inventive. but to me, it just kind of felt like it went nowhere. Although I did like the ending because it commits and it
Mm.
doesn't pull any punches without getting into the spoilers. And there's some interesting things going on with like a critique of torture porn movies or splatter gore movies or whatever. And I liked all those bits, but I just think it couldn't overcome the inflated expectations. But I would still recommend it. I'd probably give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Let's start backwards. Let's reverse in time.
Mm.
I wanna talk
Yes.
about that 3rd act.
Yes.
You know what? Let's just first go through the movie because it's such a basic movie anyways, just for the people
Mhm.
who do not wanna watch the movie or have not seen it and they wanna listen to this episode. Let's just briefly explain what happens. So the plot of this movie, you have a stereotype cast of college
Mhm.
people who don't look like they're in college, all going away to their cabin in the woods, and immediately it is made clear that this is some sort of setup by some government agency or third party. They have snipers on the roofs tracking their moves.
Mhm.
They have the stereotype where they go to a weird gas station, but it's like, oh, the guy's in on it.
Mhm.
Although he might just be crazy. There was a funny joke there. They go
Yeah.
to this cabin, right? And the cabin is in the midst of an MCU multiverse hexagonal field, okay?
Yeah.
We're like a Truman Spear.
Yeah.
Mhm. They hang out in what, in my opinion, is y'all might disagree, but is definitely the most overlong part of this movie, where they're just hanging out
Mhm.
and
There's an Evil Dead.
they go
Mhm.
downstairs. Yep. And there's all these artifacts. And as we find out, each artifact would summon a different monster. So the whole goal of this company is that they're trapping these people here for a mysterious reason, and
Mhm.
orchestrating all of this. So they choose the Evil Dead lad enchant, some generic zombies with, although they act like it's not generic. They're like, "No, no, no,
Yeah.
this is this family's
Yeah.
zombies," and they have
It's not one zombie, it's a family.
that poor lady. That was one of the funniest jokes in the movie for me. That poor lady deserved her prediction, like, fuck off. Racist. Okay, not really, but, like, come on. I felt bad for that lady. She nailed it on the head. And
Mhm.
yeah, they go after her, and then the company orchestrated this cabin. So there's all these places in the environment and in the cabin of, mists that will make them do things. They're like, oh, let's not split up, throw in some fucking gas, and bing, you just have the most instant MacGuffin of all time. And they just decide to split up.
Mhm.
Several things like that. They slowly die, but it's not even that slowly. It happens pretty fast once it starts
Yeah.
happening.
Mhm.
You think all of them are dead at one point, except for the girl, but it turns out
Yeah,
the stoner
the
guy who you
final
thought
girl.
died. Yep.
Mhm.
The final girl did not die. And the company is freaking out. They're like, oh my God, we still don't know what's up yet fully, but it's like, we had to do this thing and it didn't actually happen. Uh-oh, we have to act fast. Like, holy shit, something's wrong. They go in, we see in the most overly CGI way possible all these cages filled with over the top monsters. Some
Mhm.
gunfights happen, and
Mhm.
then the lady walks in. Mrs. Mandalorian and Grogu walks in, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen.
god.
It's so sad, but I will
Ellen Ripley, bruh.
listen, I'm sorry. I Ripley, Alien, I mean, she is an icon,
Yep.
but after the trailers and probably especially after the film, I will always now think of her as Miss Mandalorian and Grogu.
Maybe you won't after she's back as Kiri in, Avatar 4, whatever
Oh
that's
my
coming out.
god, that was terrible too. Oh fuck. Well, it wasn't her fault, but
Spider Boy.
Spider Boy,
Spider
Monkey
Boy.
Boy,
Monkey Boy,
Spider
yeah.
Boy.
Monkey Boy.
But she walks in. She's an adult this time. She's not a CGI creature. She's just her. And she's like, You don't understand the importance of this ceremony, okay? You have to be the last one to protect the universe from being destroyed by this monster below us, and we are doing this to stop the monster from getting out, so you need to shoot this weed guy in the head to save the world. So what ends up happening? The weed guy fights back, and the world gets destroyed.
By a giant hand, a glorious CGI hand, which erupts
And
from
of
the
course,
Earth's
Sigourney Weaver
crust.
gets shot. That's how she isn't able to intervene.
Exactly.
And Miss Mandalorian and Grogu was just aura farming. She didn't have any part in any of the ceremony until it went
Mhm,
wrong and two of them were left.
mhm.
Came on the intercoms. There's a call from below. Walks out in all of her Mandalorian and Grogu aura,
Okay.
and that is Cabin in the Woods. Explained.
That was a very good explanation, I must
Yeah.
say.
So now you can listen to our discussion. We might have forgotten some mini things, but you can watch the movie, but you don't have to now if you want to follow along with us.
Yippee.
So, do you want to start by talking about the third act? And if you were in this situation, what would you do? Would you sacrifice yourself if you were the weed dude or watch the world burn?
I would probably, sacrifice myself, cause like, you're
Mhm,
gonna die anyways, so, like, what's the point?
mhm.
Yeah, what about you, Jack?
I have to say I'd be the asshole. I probably wouldn't.
Oh my
No, only
No.
because I wouldn't believe them. I would think they're nut jobs.
Interesting.
I don't think I would believe that the world was ending. Like, the final girl was so easily convinced, by the way, that the dude needed to die. She didn't even hesitate. Like, it was just like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, Miss Mandalorian and Grogu showed up and told me that."
well, and, like, they seen all this wild stuff, so, like,
Yeah.
why would you not believe them?
I guess, but I would think, why were they doing this, you know? I wasn't sure if they manufactured I didn't understand how that worked. I feel like the film defied its own logic, like, all the monsters were in cages, but it was also like, oh, depending on what they pick up, that summons the monsters. So I was like, did they create the monsters or
They say in the movie that these are evil spirits that were trapped by them, but, like, if they didn't sacrifice, more evil spirits will rule the earth. That was the whole thing.
How were, like, the telekinetic ones able to just be confined to their cages for so long?
Like, it's a
Like
special cage. That's, like, suspension of disbelief.
okay, I guess it's fair.
I mean, like, X-Men, like, they have like, anti-mutant cages.
Yeah,
It's not, like, something special to this movie.
the Magneto cages.
Yeah.
But going back to your original question, Jack, I honestly think I'm on board with you. I would just let the world burn.
we're
Uh,
both shitty people?
Gotta give the spiders a chance, the other endangered species that will have been taken out by humanity's wrath.
What? I think they would die too.
You never know. Maybe the hand was just like a localized incident. You never know.
They were just doing it for fun, and they wanted to protect themselves because if they failed, they would die, but they were still willing to do it, okay?
Exactly.
How do these people get recruited?
So it's like a multinational corporation or something like that, right? Because they had different branches in
yeah.
different very convenient developed
Classic
countries.
horror countries.
Mhm.
'Cause there's Antarctica, that was a Thing reference, I think. There's, like,
Yeah.
Spain, I think that's supposed to be, like, Dracula or something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's Japan.
The scary, creepy little girl with the grudge.
Yeah, The Grudge. Yeah,
That was pretty good. I liked it when it was playing with all those different tropes. I think
yeah.
there's also Sweden. It's like Let the Right One In or some vampire movie,
Mm,
Mm.
Nordic horror. I don't know anything about German horror films.
Nazis, dead Nazis, that would
Oh,
be it.
okay, there you go. Honestly, If a job application was given to me for this company, I think I'd if their benefits were good enough, it's in this economy.
I don't know, man, maybe. I feel like I'd be, like, murdered if I didn't accept the job. They were like, "People can't know," so I'd probably have to take it
Yeah,
at that
yeah,
point.
And hey, if a military man takes like a job there, then probably is good. So
yeah. Non-disclosure agreements and things.
yeah,
Yeah.
But that was definitely my favorite part of the movie, just like seeing all the workplace camaraderie, and then they all die, which is fun too.
yeah. All those monsters were like really well done too. I must say, for like a $30 million movie, they had, I don't know if unique's the right word, but so many references to like a lot of monsters, even like pretty recent like horror movies like The Purge.
Yeah, there was like a pinhead in there.
Mm-hmm. A not Pinhead. I think that one is more parody than the Purge one. This
Yeah.
is like straight up Purge. But
Mhm.
speaking of those random monsters, apparently there's supposed to be a tie-in to Left 4 Dead 2, a game that I do love. And there's supposed to be DLC for that game, so in exchange, the movie had 4 of the special infected in the game in the background, so that's pretty fun. Too bad the DLC never came out.
Oh,
Yeah.
What a
I
shame.
Gabe is too busy, not making Half-Life 3 and not making Portal 3, not making Left 4 Dead 3, so, uh,
What a shame. It's very 2012.
yeah. Which is weird because it was shot in 2009.
That's true. I must say, I think my expectations were inflated just because this movie is kind of adjacent to The Truman Show, which is
Mhm.
mm,
my favorite film of all time. But, you know,
that's a near masterpiece. It's hard to
exactly.
compare.
It's firing on all cylinders. But with that movie, there's like a nice little tension because it's really well edited with all the little cuts to worldwide
Mhm.
audiences that are really invested in Truman's story. So there's a lot of commentary there about parasocial relationships, and you don't really get that here. So it's kind of a letdown in that regard since I love Truman Show like setups.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. I do agree that obviously Truman Show is like a masterpiece, but I think for this movie, with the focus more on the Jenkins and Whitford characters, I think there's like a funnier commentary on voyeurism and how we treat characters in movies, and I think that's what Joss Whedon does best is
Yeah,
just having multiple characters just interact with each other and have fun with each other, and
yeah,
yeah, it just plays into that TV show strength that he had in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I don't know much about Angel, but yeah, like that Buffy style dialogue between those
yeah.
characters.
Very quippy.
Yeah. Mhm.
I can see a little bit of Avengers in this film,
Yeah.
the style of humor, but I feel like with Avengers, I feel like the humor worked way better for me. This hit on a similar level when it was behind the scenes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it just I mean, we'll get to Avengers later in 2012, but it didn't wow me like Avengers, and it doesn't need to. It's a horror movie,
Mhm.
but
mhm,
with all the praise, I guess I just wanted a little more. And I say that about so
yeah.
many of these movies, and I feel bad, like I'm dunking on 2012, and it's like, no, 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 2012 has some bangers, and we're gonna get to
Yeah?
them. We just have
Mhm.
not got into any of them yet, somehow.
Oh, we got into a few. Anyway, I think we're looking at the big picture. I think we should, yeah, go back to the film.
TM. No, but I think it raises a good point. This movie, I think, at least for me, if I was like a 20-year-old in 2012, I would have loved this movie like
Mhm.
a lot more than I think I loved it here. Like
Would you
maybe
have though?
it's just a little uh, I think so just because of like it didn't have all these expectations surrounding it and it was maybe a
Mm,
little more fresh with, like, all the quippiness and things. I wouldn't have seen The Hunger Games yet,
Yeah.
and so, like, looking back on it as, like, some sort of classic, you're obviously gonna have a different set of expectations than just going to the theaters for a fun popcorn time.
Yeah, I mean, even by the trailer, though, I watched after the movie, and even then, I think it came out around late 2011, 2012 when the movie came out, and there were
April,
so
yeah.
many like, even back
April.
then, I think this movie was hyped.
Yeah, because it got hyped at the film festival, and then, yeah, I got a bunch of noise from there, and obviously Joss Whedon became a sensation with the Avengers, so the guy that's directing the biggest superhero event of all time has this little movie coming out too, right before the
Mm,
Avengers.
yeah.
Obviously, I think the thing that doesn't make this movie as fresh is that this is the meta commentary. I think at the time, like,
Mm.
there would have been less meta movies, but, like, I feel like right now we're living in, like, peak meta commentary, so it feels like
Yeah.
a lot less
Alan
unique
Wake 2.
Cough, cough. Everything everywhere.
all at
Yeah.
once. Best picture winner, you know? Like, that's how
Mhm,
mainstream meta commentary has gotten. Obviously, Rick and
mhm,
Morty, that pretty much was coming up at the like, I think a bit after, I think, this movie,
mhm,
and, yeah, like, obviously, that sped up the process of meta commentary in, like, a lot of different movies, and, like,
mhm,
at the time, I can see how that was unique, but here, you can tell, like, it all sprouted from here because, like, here, it's basic meta commentary,
mhm.
like, sometimes it's done well. I think when it involves the Richard Jenkins character and the Brad Whitford character, that's when it, like, is fun, but when it's just the 2 survivors that, like, talk about this stuff, it feels kinda basic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will disagree though on what you're saying a little bit about the uniqueness of meta horror films at the time because I mean, you look back at Scream and that
Mm,
came out in
Mm.
1996 and there was a bunch more after that. You look at Scary Movie, the spoof of the spoof. Okay? And that came out in 2000. So, I do disagree that maybe we have even more meta things now, but
mhm.
I'm trying to think if I was in like, really putting myself in another perspective. If I was my age now when it came out in 2012, I don't know if I would have liked it any better.
I don't know, like, I think the difference is, like, meta stuff is just so infused into the culture
Yeah.
nowadays,
But I think it already was.
but now it just feels so tired, like that one episode of
Mhm.
She-Hulk, which I haven't
Oh,
seen,
yeah.
but, I heard it was really bad.
But like you're saying, Everything Everywhere All at Once was meta and it won an Oscar. And I would
Yeah.
give that film above a 9 out of 10. Is it perfect? I don't know if
Mhm.
any film is, but when it hits so hard for me. That's not the movie we're talking about. But I just mean, even now there are meta films that come out and they still hit.
What, like Deadpool and Wolverine?
Oh god.
Okay, that film had problems, but I will
Uh,
say I kind of enjoyed that film more than Cabin in the
What?
Woods, I'll be
what?
honest.
That's
I
That
did.
was
no.
like Ready Player One level. Dude.
Oh god.
It wasn't by the end, it was just noise, but it was at least fun noise.
Uh, but, like, I feel like we're sidetracking, like, what I wanted to say was that, like, Scream was, like, more tongue-in-cheek kinda meta. This was more like
Mm,
a satirical kinda meta, where it was, like, more critical on the genre tropes of the genre.
mhm,
Like, obviously, like, the 2 guys were kinda funny, but, like, it felt more like it wanted to critique what was going on in genre, unlike Scream, which, was, like, made by the king of slashers, basically, Wes Craven.
I guess I do agree a lot of these other meta films are meta films and then their own movie. Whereas this, to me at least, was only the meta, and it never became something of its own from it.
Mm,
you could make an argument that Scream is just a conventional slasher movie
Well,
because it, like, revitalized the genre and things,
have you
but,
ever seen
like, the
it though? The whole time they're talking about movie tropes and they're talking about films within the film. and they're literally
Yeah,
saying they're making jokes a lot of the time about genre
but
tropes of horrors.
we live in a world where there have been 7 Screams, and I can't imagine a world where there have been, like, 7 Cabin in the Woodses. There's just something about it where
Yeah,
the way it positions itself is very different, I think, to the genre.
that's fair, I guess.
One's a bit more, like, goofy and, like, fun, while, like, this one's a bit more serious in tone, and, like, Joss Whedon's, like, try to dig into the tropes and, like, what they mean. Like, he's trying to, like, confront them instead of, play along with them, which is what
Yeah.
Wes Craven does.
I disagree. I don't think he was confronting much at all by the end. I thought he kind of was playing along with it. I mean, to me at least, it felt like something that was written in 3 days. It acts like it's not adhering to the tropes, but then by the end, it has nothing to really say about it.
Hmm. I don't know, like, the way all the different monsters are interchangeable, just like plug and chug. It's a formula.
Yeah, and the way that the 4 college students are, like, realistically, like, those types of people wouldn't exist, so, like, they had to, like, find
Yeah.
the closest match, which kinda sidetracking, like, I kinda wish we got a more normal versions of those characters before they went into the cabin, got brainwashed with all those drugs and stuff, like,
Mhm.
basically just, like, got a view in the cabin, but, like, I feel like a classroom scene would have, like, helped establish that these were, like they were all, like, smart individuals, basically, but I feel
Mhm.
like the prologue as is, like, doesn't really do that.
Yeah. I love the
Yeah.
way Bradley Whitford went out, though. It was kinda a little foreshadowing of The Lighthouse, which had not come out at this time.
Oh my god. Another
It was
Pattinson
good.
flick.
The Merman.
Uh,
But yeah. All in all, I think talking about it has kinda improved my opinion of it just a tad.
hmm. Do you think the movie works better that we know the twist from the beginning? 'Cause, like, I certainly did. I thought it just made it you know, the mystery was more, like, why they're doing it, which I just, like, in the end, it wasn't the most satisfying thing, but it had, like, a nice build up in, like, a TV kinda way that, like, I think made the movie more fun than just, like, a normal slasher type of thing, and
Yeah.
it kinda, like,
Mhm.
built up to the, like, why were they doing this, and, like, what exactly is the relationship between the monsters and the organization, and how that was handled was, like, pretty neat, I'd say.
Mhm.
And I think,
Mhm.
like, if the twist was that the facility was there, then, like, I feel like you wouldn't have that kinda, like, build up.
Um,
Mhm.
if I'm thinking about an ideal version of this story in my head, I think I would have liked it as a twist, but with the way the story was very surface level overall, I do think it worked to have it be known from the very beginning.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I just wish it was more 50-50 than like I
Yeah.
think 25-75.
Mhm. Yeah, I think they disappeared too much into the teenagers' story at points.
Yeah.
And, I really liked the gas and the way that was deployed, but I feel like there could have been more things like that. It's like
Mhm.
little hints. I don't know, like, just as an example, like, maybe there's, like, some sort of mechanism that makes the basement trapdoor spring open that, like, the viewer sees, but they don't see or something like that. I don't know.
Well, that's what happened.
Um,
What do you mean?
but, like, did we ever see, like, the mechanism?
No, but they push a button and it plops
Yeah.
open and they don't know what?
I
That
don't
was
know,
not my
I
Talking
problem.
about what?
no, well, I'm just
I
saying,
don't know.
like, there could have been, like, more cool
You
stuff like
lost
that.
me there.
No.
Oh,
I don't
more
know.
of it, like, you're saying it was in the movie, but you wanted more things like that.
Yeah, more, like,
Or are you
little
saying it
point.
or are you saying they didn't explain how the door came open?
No, I am saying there should have been more, like, little gestures at, like, genre tropes like that, or, like, the
Oh, okay,
gas
I
or
agree with you then.
the
Yeah.
Harbinger man and things, yeah.
Mhm. Oh, I like that, like, thing with the Harbinger van where, like, the Whitford character is, like, trying to call him and then putting him on speakerphone. Oh, that was a great bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. Got a good laugh out of me.
"Am I on speaker?"
And they're all cracking up.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did not try to, like, milk this movie with some sort of sequel that wouldn't have made any sense.
Just you wait, we need a
Oh
reunion
god.
sequel. Legacy sequel. Don't give 'em ideas, Dean.
You know, I do want, like, a spin-off of this movie set in Japan
Oh
or,
god. Oh.
like, directed by, like, I don't know, maybe, like, Takashi Miike.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But for me, not with the same writer-director.
Oh, and yeah, like, my idea would be, like, McKay handling the writing and stuff, talk about Japanese tropes. I think he'd be the guy to do it, honestly. He's a pretty fun guy.
Perfect, yeah.
The possibilities are endless, really.
Yeah.
You got there are a lot of Indonesian, like, kind of low budget horror movies that would slot perfectly into what they're going for here. Or like found footage somehow.
Oh,
I
found
don't know.
footage, yeah. They could be, like, a found footage version of this movie.
Well, ladies
And
and
you see
gentlemen, Cabin in the Woods 5 coming in 2036. You can thank us later. We made it happen. I'm just
Yes. Uh, it's perfect. 7 out of 10 is my final rating, I think.
Oh, it went up.
Yes?
Yeah, I have flaws with it. I never hated it, but I don't know. I think about when I finished the film and I just was left wanting way more. So I'm gonna go with a 6 out of 10 still.
Mhm.
Mm, that's fair.
And, yeah, I just had a fun time with this movie, like any Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode. A bit more entertaining than those, but yes, overall 7 out of 10. Joss Whedon, wish you weren't, like you were, so
Oh
that you can make
god.
more movies like this. But it is what it is. You are what you are. So, yeah.
I forgot about his scandal, I must say. This is
Oh,
give a little
wait.
context.
I oh, yeah. I could kinda tell that he's kinda creeping there with the way he was treating the main girl and how the nerdy
Yeah.
character ended up with her.
Mm,
Yikes.
Yeah.
yikes.
Well, anyways,
Mhm.
Dean, do you wanna wrap this episode up?
All right, thanks for listening, y'all. Make sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And obviously, as always, please comment, like, and share. And if you'd like to reach us, we're on socials at Movies Met Pod. Or if you have any email comments, you can reach out at whenmoviesmetmovies@gmail.com. See you guys next time, where we'll be talking about Andrew Stanton's In the Blink of an Eye and John Carter, 2012. Take care and bye bye.
Bye.